If two wrongs cannot make right, will accusation and counter-accusation be? We are faced with such dilemma after Ogun State government demolished a 5-story building, DATKEM Plaza, owned by Olufunke Daniel. That's the wife of the former governor of the state, Gbenga Daniel. The state government approved the demolition of the building for breach of construction plan, but the former First Lady stressed that it was done against a notice from the court to halt the process. Dari, what's happening? Yeah, there seems to be a lot of people are, interpreting this and reading a kind of political undertone to this, because the frustrated relationship between Senator Gbenga Daniel and the governor of the state, Abiodun. And immediately this happened, a lot of people started reading meaning. What actually went wrong?
Well, you see, one should start, or I would want to start discussing this kind of thing by first naturally sympathizing with the OGD family, the huge loss they perhaps suffered due to demolition. But I do not want to join those who take delight in politicizing everything, either it is true or not. It will not help our system. We must first begin to look at issues on their merit. And then, as commentators, be it on social media, on the mainstream media, we should ask more questions before passing judgment. I looked at what has happened and I felt that there are questions to be answered, especially by Olufunke and the developers. What people did not understand that there is a developer building this particular structure. It was given to a developer to be developed. What are the issues the state government is raising? I've read the responses from the OGD camp. They have not answered certain salient questions. And it's when those questions are answered that we can begin to say, oh, it is political or not. The state government, in defending its actions, raised some issues. For example, they made it clear that the building deviated from the approval it got from the zonal physical planning authority. Is this true? The OGD camp has not answered that question. Rather, the only issue, like we have seen in Nigeria, is it is political. What is political? Before, when the going was good, as far back as May 2022, we all are in politics. We knew when things went awry. May 2022, a stop work order was given on the strength
on that site.
Yes, on that side, on the strength that you are deviating from
the approval.
Because the main building was going on in front. Another story building was started at the back, contrary to the approval allegedly given. I have not seen the approval. But what I'm saying is that these are the kind of responses we should be getting from those complaining, not just saying it is wish on. The other issue is the fact that they said no approval was given for that other story building at the back. Rather, that 50%, 45 to 50% of the building, of the available land, is what you ought to use to build, while others should be for safety and parking. Is it true that you contravened this by erecting another structure? Those are the things we should get responses for. The issue of the state certifications. The state said, the permanent secretary of the ministry challenged them to provide stage certifications of that building. Stage certifications are at every stage. You'll be certified to be okay. They said they did not get any stage. They are alleging, I'm not speaking for the state government, that you didn't get any state certification. You just continue building. Our men came to you that, please, let's satisfy this thing stage by stage, that this was flouted. If it is true that happened, that notices were served in May, in August, in October 2022, stop work, warnings, and eventually, as far back as October 2022, a demolition notice came.
A demolition notice.
And there were no responses. Rather, the state government alleged that work continued. Were we to wait until there is a collapse?
Ordinarily, a lot of people will say that this should have been resolved amicably between people in charge of, construction, the ministry in charge of construction in Ogun State and
The developer.
the developer and political undertones shouldn't be, that this might have nothing to do with the governor of Ogun State. But people really did say, look, all is not well between, Senator Gbenga Daniel and the governor Abiodun.
As our people say, Ijalode Loridowe. It is when the trailer, a 24-wheeler, passes through two friends. That you now know.
To interpret every action.
Everybody can now interpret whether the trailer has a bad break or whether it was intentional. I think those who come to equity must come with clearance. When I first heard about demolition, I felt bad. And I questioned the elders in Ogun State. Especially if the husband of the owner of the plaza and the governor were not only Remo people, they also of the same party. But later I was made to understand that it's far beyond that. That there is a sense of entitlement and impunity being displayed. Whether that is true or not, it's left to the unless I get a contrary something from the OGD camp. Because the state government stated clearly that they were giving warnings and there are things they ought to have done, they did not do. But instead, they prefer to go to work and ignore the cease and desist that they were served on multiple occasions. Again, that is neither here nor there. What is important here is that we cannot pretend and then abuse the rule of law and then pretend that we are victims. I pray that the OGD family will come out with all those things that the state government said
to contradict
this. Because as I'm speaking now, it's very obvious that the state government is now occupying the high moral ground. And this should not have been if you have allowed the process to go. If they have denied you certification and the decision to do that was in writing, then you have a case. If they give you cease and desist and you refuse to cease and desist, then you will have a case. Like I said, a lot of these are just, they say, he says, until the family now decide to come out and show us proof that it's true that we are giving this notice, but it was countered by a judgment of a court of law, and that we've already got an injunction that the state government should not do anything about what we are doing, and all that and all that. For now, the state government said they have the proof, and I now expect the family to now come out and show us the other side.
Now, if it's not because of the perceived frustrated relationship, would the state government officials have gone, headlong to, demolish, tamper with this project?
On this matter, I want to speak like Africans. I mean, like an African. I agree with you. Perhaps if the relationship was not frosty, maybe people would not be saying this. But the building will still have been demolished by the appropriate authority. What you don't seem to understand is that, what people don't seem to understand is that the government agency is dealing with the developers as far as they are concerned. We have given what was done, and people kept saying demolition. It's actually partial demolition, which is usually, go and check the dictionary meaning of partial demolition in engineering. I am happy that the husband of the woman involved is an engineer himself. It is usually corrective. You bring this down, you bring this down. When you correct this, you can continue. I ask questions. I am a Remo man like the two people involved. And I ask, okay, partial demolition, what does it entail? It simply means that let the developer do the needful, get the appropriate papers, and continue. The entire structure was not brought down. The defective part of it were touched to tell you, this is what we are saying. This is what we are saying. And
even if there is going to be politics involved, the moment you have a first relationship, you do the needful.
To ensure that you are on high moral level when whatever comes. But where you are actually the one defaulting, and then the government comes and says, look, if I am the governor, and I realize that, I cannot even talk to this person again because of politics. They believe that we are fighting. Perhaps it would have been possible for him to say, Otuba, issue here. I agree that maybe that could have happened. But the inability of him to do that should lead stop action and provide ground for tragedy,
Okay.
I will say no.
Yeah. So I'm sure.
If there is a demo, if there is a collapse, we won't be saying this now. We'll be talking about a former governor whose building killed
No,
people.
we will not even know who the owner was.
Oh, because it's developer, we will know. You understand? So I think
they will shield the name.
I want to repeat again that impunity by highly placed people should not be overlooked by government officials. This is why we are always having disasters.
This ahead, I'm sure that we're going to get more information
We
about.
need more information.
Yes, about both sides. We are going to get,
Beyond crying foul,
proper
there is
approval
politics,
and
involves
everything.
evidences.
voting and
Because I expect the
It's not enough to say
developer
they are
to bring
victimizing
out
me.
proof
all right.
that he has approval for every stage.
So we promise we'll continue monitoring the situation.